Hey, survivors. I wanted to come on and just talk with y'all for a second. Um, I was just looking at a video of somebody that I admire and somebody that has um, been very inspiring to me to get started and just start telling my story. It doesn't have to be anybody that likes my story, doesn't have to be reach anybody, but just for me to start talking about it. And when I seen this person wailing, I mean, they were wailing, they were crying, they were hurt. And it was that PTSD moment that she was having that I could relate because she was crying. And I mean, she was wailing, man. I could feel her heart and her pain in her voice because she needed her family to support her. And there is nothing that you can do that can make your family or anybody support you the way you need them to support you. But you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep that strength as you're pouring your tears. And the person that I give my credit to that helped me and inspired me because I seen myself in her is Peach McIntyre. And I don't know if you guys follow her or if you've seen her, but if you get a chance, take a look at some of her videos. Because, at one point in my life, I was labeled the wild child of the family. The wild child. And sometimes family name you and you are totally different than what they try to perceive you to be. But you take on that title. And when I heard her voice, when I heard this woman's voice wailing from pain, it reminded me of myself. And there's nothing worse. There's nothing more hurt. There's nothing more hurting than to need your family. And your family is not there for you. Or your family don't know how to be there for you because they are going through their own generational PTSD or pain or hurt. And they don't know how to be there for you. My entire life, I was labeled. The black sheep. I was labeled the one that was going to do the wrong. And when I seen her, Peach McIntyre, crying and she was yelling, and she said, I've been hurt more times this year. I felt her pain, y'all. When you have a family member, and I'm talking to y'all survivors, okay? When you have a family member that is going through pain and a family member is going through hurt and having a difficult time, and you see something different about that family member doing something completely out of character, don't turn your back on that family member. Don't talk about that family member. You go to them because they are not trying to run. They're reaching out for help. They're calling. They're saying, hey, help me. But they don't know how to say it, especially in the black community. Especially in the black community. They're not saying or trying to run from you or saying, I don't care about you. They don't know how to say, help me. They don't know how to say, please, get me out of this situation. Just talk to me. I could relate. I could relate to Peach McIntyre when she was crying. And that's a PTSD moment. That's a hurt. That's a deep-rooted pain, man. That's a deep-rooted pain. I went through the same thing. At a point in my life, I thought that my family didn't love me. I thought they didn't care. I think the most hurtful time is when I just realized, and I'm not saying they don't love me. I have to accept that. I have to accept the fact that they don't love me and just go on down my way. And this was before I even got into therapy, you know. But when I got into therapy, I said, you know what? I don't care. I don't care what the Black community says about me. I don't care what my family says about me. I want to survive, man. I want to survive. I want to live. I want to live. I want to raise my children and my grandchildren. I'm not accepting being a wild child or being something that somebody done threw away. You know, when I was a little girl, my mama fed me out of a trash can from a man that was a pedophile. I love my mama, but she did some wrong stuff. She did some stuff that I would never do to my kids. I would never hurt my children. But she hurt me. She hurt me as a child. She broke me as a little child. I know you get with my family, my brothers and my sister. All they talk about is mama, how tough she was and how good she was. I don't remember that. I remember her never being home. Never being home. I remember her drinking. I remember men coming out. She just wanted to party. That's it. I don't remember not one time her giving me a hug. And I don't care if somebody else remembers that. I don't remember. The only thing I remember is her being cold. I remember her sitting there. I know she loved me, but it didn't mean that she didn't know how to love me. She had her own issues. She had her own issues, but I could relate to Peach McIntyre. I could relate to her when she was crying. It was like my family just don't. You know, she couldn't see how and why her family was hurting her. I could relate to that. That was PTSD at its finest. And I can relate to that. People call you a wild child, think you wild, but you know, it's so sad because your family will do that. But they will not be the first ones knocking at your door saying something is wrong. I don't care what you say. Something is wrong and I'm here for you. I don't care. I'm not letting you fall. I'm not going to let you hurt. Period. Whatever you go through, I go through. We're going to make it. I know what that feels like not to have that. To have three little kids and come from an abusive husband that done broke your finger and almost tried to kill you, and you go to your family tell you, well, you got to leave. And you think to yourself, well, where am I going to go? But the only thing they want to tell you is that you're a wild child or that you just this and that, you just that. But then fight or flight comes up. So in your mind, you're going to do whatever you got to do to survive. And that's exactly what I did. I have no guilt, no shame in my hustle, my game. I have no shame in that because I survived. I am a survivor of PTSD, abuse, neglect, and everything that happened to me when I was a kid. Everything. I live in a house with pedophiles. I lived in a house where nobody even looked at me twice. I got myself ready for school. I don't care if my mama made my clothes. She made my clothes because she couldn't buy none. She wasn't working. I don't remember not one time my mama had a 9 to 5. I don't. And I'm the youngest of 8 kids. And I just have to keep it 100 today. Keep it 100 because my family is so good at making things look so great on the outside. So worried about their reputation. And I don't want to say nothing bad about them because I love them. And I know that they're hurt too. I know it. I know the way that they even hide their hurt or put up with their hurt is to act like that shit never even happened. That's how they do it. That's how I know. That's how they do it. And you know what? Hey, that's everybody has to have their survival mode, especially in the Black community. And I am so tired. I'm so tired of the Black community not being there for one another, putting each other down, talking about each other. We want to talk about each other all the time, but nobody comes up with a solution. Nobody. We're all hurting from a generational curse. All the Black community is hurting with PTSD. We don't even know it. We just like, oh, they crazy. Black people this and Black people that. We say that about each other. Why? Because we have generational issues. And nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to believe it. But I'm gonna say it because it's gonna change. Change in my family. I am not a wild child. I never was a wild child. I never done anything crazy. I made wrong mistakes because as my family was calling me the wild child and expecting for me to be somebody on drugs and prostitution and what else have they said? They said I was on drugs. They said I was a prostitute. They said I was this and that. I ain't never done nothing like that. Now, one time in my life, I did strip. I did, because I was so messed up in my own head that I didn't even realize. I just accepted what I was and what they thought I was. I accepted that. And that's not who I was. But I did that because I didn't have nothing. I didn't have anything, and I was going through a mental breakdown because I didn't know what was going on with me. But instead of my family being there for me, instead of them reaching out and saying, girl, what the hell are you doing? Come here and embrace me, hug me, tell me, oh, hey, no, that's not where we going. You're not doing that. No. We got you. Instead of them doing that, they talked about me. And there was times where I had my business. I reached out to my family, man. I needed them. I really did. I didn't know how to do certain things. And emotions and things of the past was coming, and I didn't know how to handle it. But I reached out to them to just help me with my business. And instead of them reaching out and saying, we got you. No matter what, we got you. You need the grass cut in your business, we got you. You need somebody to come in for a couple of hours so it help you on payroll, we got you. I am the youngest of 8 siblings. I cannot say that my life was easy dealing with one of them. I do have a relationship. Now I do, because I refuse to be broken. I refuse to be broken. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be okay. But I refuse to be broken. I have forgiven everyone, and I have freed my soul. And these tears that I cry are tears of joy, because I can sit on this side and say that I made it. I made it through. Because there was times where I didn't even know if I was going to wake up the next morning, y'all. I didn't. And I didn't have no one on the side of me praying for me. I prayed for myself. And the Most High heard me. Because every day I woke up. And I always said, today is going to be different than yesterday. I don't care if I got up and washed my face, walked my dogs, looked in the mirror and said, I love you, anything. It was so hard. I mean, even back when I got raped. It happened twice when I was a teenager. And it just, I never talked about, I couldn't talk about, who was I going to tell? I couldn't tell nobody. When I got older and I got pregnant, I had not even had SX. I hadn't. It was just there. I had wasn't no penetration, wasn't nothing. I ended up pregnant. So yeah, the word was still, I was a wild child. And I just kept meeting that thing of being a wild child. I knew I wasn't. I knew. But how do you explain to your family? How do you say it to your family, I'm really not that. I really truly need help. I need y'all to embrace me. I need y'all to love me. I need you to see me. See me. Look at me. Just look at me. How do you say that when everybody's looking away from you? Everybody wants you to fail. And you do everything wrong. Not because you want to, but because of the frequency. Everything is negative and going against you. That's all you are drawing, is the negativity. And your family just don't see it. They don't try to help you or anything. So I just want you to know, Peach McIntyre, if you hear this, I want you to know you are not alone, baby. I've been there. I know how you feel. You got this. You inspired me. I jumped up and I just did it. Just like you said, just do it. Just get up and do it. And I did. And I thank you for that. You know, it's a shame also that us as Black women put other Black women down. We got to stop that. Stop putting one another down and help build each other up. And that's for all women. We have to start encouraging each other. Now, I say Black women because I'm part of the Black community. I'm part of the Black woman community. And I see an issue. I see a distress. I see a problem within our community. And we need to start uplifting one another and teaching our children to be uplifted. Teaching our little girls how to appreciate our bodies and appreciate ourselves. We got to start from the inside of us. We got to stop tearing each other down, because I tell you, if we don't stop, the future's not going to get any better. Our children, our girls are going to grow up even worse than what's going on now. And I refuse to fail. I shall not fail. You know why? Because it is He that is in me that gives me the power to make the change in my life, and that I will do. I just had to come on and just vent a little bit, but I told y'all that I was going to be very vulnerable with you, and I'm going to be honest, because the journey to healing from PTSD is first acknowledging that you do have a problem. And I know that there is a problem within the Black community. And first it starts with me getting better to be able to speak for those who cannot speak. I love you guys. And remember, survivors, change your negative thoughts. You can change them to positive thoughts. And you can make good choices in your life. You can. I love you guys. If there's anything that I can do, reach out to me, make a comment, send it through email, which is survivingptsd@gmail.com. And we'll ride the wave together. I love you guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.